He looks older.
Okay, you guys, y'all ready to learn a little something? Okay, so we are going to be talking today about solving inequalities with more than one thing going on. So let me throw this up here. Okay, on I'm trying to look at 400 different things at the same time. It's about to drive me crazy. So I am videoing this for the post for people who are not here. Try to speak up if you answer so they can hear your answer, okay? I'll repeat it. I know, Caitlin, it ain't going to happen, but try, all right? Okay, so on Buzz, if you look under, open up your thing. On your end, it should have the to-do list, and it should have an assignment for today. And at the end of this class, I will update our agenda up here. But right now, we're looking at, I cannot see. Am I on the scrolly bar over there? No. If I click, will it let me scroll? We'll do it this way. So we're on lesson, I didn't hide it. Hang on. I gotta go back and unhide it. Uh-huh. Why? Oh, why? Here we go. Leona, don't be crazy. Solving inequality. Lesson 19. I do have it unhid. It is lesson 19. I am an idiot. Okay, so on lesson 19, right, we're going to open that up. And there's a mixed operations read it if you want to go in and read about the lesson. They have their own video. I haven't watched their video. I don't know how good it is. It could be amazing. I have no idea. It could be bad. Then they have the practice it that we're going to do together, and then the show it, and that's what you're going to do as an assignment. So let's go ahead and look at this practice it together, okay? So on this practice it, we're doing mixed operations, and we're going to figure out, do you flip the sign or not flip the sign? So I'm going to give you all a couple split screen images here. So do one there. I may not be able to do this. I cannot. Hang on. We'll just do it like this, all right? And I will look at it on my screen and see. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Who knows today? It's one of them days. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Algebra 1. Under solving inequalities, lesson 19 is what we're looking in. And we're looking at the practice it. But this first little bit, we'll just do together as a group. And I'll just write down the things. So here's what we've got. We've got 3 minus x over 2 is greater than 9. That's what we have. 3 minus x over 2 is greater than 9. All right, so before we do anything else, I want you to think about this problem. I want you to decide if you think you will flip the sign or not. Now remember when we flip the sign. When do we flip it? When you multiply or divide by a negative. So if you multiply or divide by a negative, you would flip this sign, right? Everybody with me so far? Okay, so let's solve this one together, all right? So remember, anytime you're solving a problem, you're looking for getting x by itself. So the first thing you should say is, all right, what do I need to get rid of? So what on this problem do we need to get rid of? What's around x we got to move? We got to move that 2. Is that the only thing we have to move? And that 3. Now remember, you want to start away from x and work toward it, right? So what's the last thing we're going to be getting rid of? The 2. So the first thing we have to get rid of is the 3. So we're going to ask ourselves, okay, I'm getting rid of this 3. What is this 3 doing with everything else over here? Is it being added or subtracted, multiplied or divided? Okay, so if it's added or subtracted, we're going to add or subtract to get rid of it, right? So how would we get rid of this 3? Would we subtract 3 or add 3? Why do we subtract? Because it's a positive 3, right? So we're going to subtract 3. But if I do it over here, I got to do it over here. Does that make sense to everybody? What happens to these 3's? They're gone. What do I have left over here? Negative x over 2. And then my sign comes straight down unless it needs to flip. Did we multiply or divide by negative? Nope. What's 9 minus 3? 6. What's my next step going to be? What do I still need to get rid of? That 2. You know what else I need to get rid of? That negative sign. We have got to get rid of that negative sign, right? How do you get rid of a negative sign? Multiply by negative or divide by negative, right? So if I want to get rid of this 2, what's it doing to x? It's dividing. So how do I undivide stuff? So I'm going to multiply by 2. But I know I want to get rid of that negative also. So I can multiply by negative 2. Because a negative times a negative is going to give me a positive. Now if I do it to one side, I got to do it to the other. So those are going to cancel. That's going to leave me with just x right here, right? Over here I'm going to get negative 12. What about my sign? Why do I flip it? Because I multiplied by a negative. It doesn't matter that this became a negative. What matters is that I multiplied by a negative, so I got to flip the sign. Flip the sign. Got it? Okay, let's do another one. So let's do 5 minus x over 7 is less than 6. Can y'all see that good enough? I'll move it over just a little bit. Okay, so here I'm going to draw my line so I know where my sides are. So I want to get x by itself. What do I need to get rid of? The 5 and the 7, right? So what am I going to get rid of first? The 5, because it's further away from x, right? How do I get rid of that 5? I would subtract 5 because it's a positive, right? Does that make sense? So my 5 minus 5 gives me nothing. It's gone. We say they cancel out. Well, what it really is 0. And then I'm left with negative x over 7. What's 6 minus 5? 1. What about my sign? It stays the same. I did not multiply or divide by a negative, so I don't change my sign, right? Okay, now what? I'm going to multiply by negative 7. Because, let's talk it through. I want to get rid of that negative sign, and a negative times a negative is a positive. 7 is dividing into x, and the opposite of dividing is multiply. If I do it to one side, got to do it to the other. So that's going to get rid of my negative and my 7 and leave x. Over here I'm going to have, negative 7, right? What about my sign? Going to flip it. Why? I multiplied by a negative. Does that make sense? So I flip that sign. Okay? Let's do negative x over 3 minus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 4. Alright? Okay? What's our first step going to be? Get rid of the 3. How are we going to get rid of it? Add 3. Okay, now what? Okay, so that's gone, right? We're going to bring down everything. -4 and 3 is -1. What about my sign? Stays the same. Now what? Multiply by -3. Now remember, the reason we're multiplying by negative is we want to get rid of that negative. And a negative times a negative is now a positive, right? That's going to get rid of my 3 and my negative symbols. And I'm going to have x is +3. Is that right? Do I need to put the positive sign? You know what happened there, don't you? My brain went negative. I wrote a negative, so then I had to fix it by making it a positive. That's what happened. Okay, what about my sign? Flip it. And we're flipping it because we multiplied by this -3, right? That's the reason we're flipping it. So we flipped it. Are we going to do any that you don't flip? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Because you are the first class I teach of this. Okay. What do we do? Get rid of the 4. How are we going to get rid of it? Subtract it. Okay. That's going to give me x over 7. -5 and -4 is what? -9. What about my sign? Stays the same. Alright. Now what do I do? Get rid of that 7. How are we going to get rid of that 7? Multiply by 7. Okay, so it's going to cancel those guys out. Notice I didn't multiply by a negative this time. Just pointing that out. And this gives me -63. Do y'all know the trick on multiplying your 9s? Yep. Y'all know the finger trick? Everybody? Yep. Okay, I'm seeing some no's. So I'm going to show you. So, multiplying by 9s is probably the easiest one because you can do it with your fingers. So whatever you're multiplying 9 down, you count over to that finger and put that finger down. So let's say we're doing 9 times 3. So go 1, 2, 3, put that finger down, right? This, however many fingers is on this side of that finger that's down, that is the tens column. That would be 20, right? However many fingers I have on this side is the ones column, so that would be 7. So 9 times 3 is 27. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Yep. Okay, so let's do like 9 times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put this finger down, right? This side is 4. This side is 5. It's 45. 9 times 6. I put down my pinky. This side is 5. This side is 4. 54. 9 times 8. I put down this middle finger. This side is 7. This side is 2. 72. So as long as you got 10 fingers, you can do your 9s on your fingers. You don't have to try to remember them. See? After you do it a handful of times, you'll get to where you just know them. But I know my daughter had a hard time learning or memorizing multiplication facts, and so that really helped her a lot. Okay, so we did this one. We did not flip our sign, did we? Oh, did we flip our sign? Flip or don't flip? Don't. Sign stays the same. Okay? Why not? All right, great question. Let's go back and look at it. So remember, you flip your sign when you multiply or divide by a negative. We multiplied by 7. It's not a negative. We don't flip. We didn't divide by anything, but we multiplied by a positive. Okay, so let's do this one. 5 minus x is less than or equal to -5. All right? So what do? You tell me. We're going to get rid of that 5? How? Subtract. Why are we subtracting? It's a positive 5, right? If we added, we would just get 10 over there. We wouldn't get rid of it. 5 plus 5 would just be 10. Okay, so that's gone. We're going to bring this sweet baby down. Negative 5 and negative 5 gives me what? Negative 10. What about my sign? Drop it down. We didn't do anything that would indicate to flip it. So, yes, me too. I know what you're doing. I got you. I thought the exact same thing. Jade looks at me like she's confused. Were you singing? Yeah. Yeah, the song. So everything makes me think of a song. Everything. And most of the time, students no longer get my references to songs. But everything that's said in class, a song comes to my head. Okay, so are we done? Is X by itself? No, why not? It has a negative. We have to get rid of that negative. So what are we going to do to get rid of it? Oh, okay, so we have 2 options here. We can divide by a negative, but you know what another option is? That I think a lot of students find easier than dividing by negative? What if we just multiplied by negative 1? Would that work? Y'all be arguing over if you said it or not. Would that work? Could we do that? Could we just multiply by negative 1? Multiplying by 1 doesn't change anything, but multiplying by the negative will make it a positive, right? So if on this side we could just multiply by negative 1. What's going to happen over here? X. And then over here, oh, my bad. Over here, okay, positive. What about my sign? It switches. Why does it switch? We multiplied by a negative. So the only thing different about solving an equation versus solving an inequality is if you multiply by a negative. Or divide by a negative, right? Multiply or divide by a negative. All right, I think y'all are ready, don't y'all? I think you can do this. I think you got this. Okay, so your assignment for today, I want to show it to you, so y'all give me just a second. So, let me pull this over up here, and I got to fix it over here in this too. Okay. So, you're looking in lesson 19. It's going to be mixed operations show it. So you're going to click on mixed operations show it. Get your interactive worksheet by clicking here. Now, I need to make this very clear. If at any time, whether you're in class or you are not here because you are quarantined, if I have an interactive worksheet but it won't interact, like you can't get it open or whatever, just type your answers in Buzz, okay? Don't be like, I can't do it, and use that as an excuse. Just type your answers in Buzz. I make the interactive worksheet for 2 reasons. 1 is it makes it a little easier for you, and 2, because it grades it for me, okay? And that's why I make it. If I have to hand grade them, that's no big deal. I'll just go in and hand grade them. All right. So when you finish, if you're using the interactive worksheet, screenshot your graded results and put them on Buzz. That just helps me keep track of who finished. Okay. Everybody got that? On this one, I made a place for you to type your name. Because I'm not 100% sure some people aren't just signing in as other people. Like opening other people's thing and screenshotting their thing. Not sure that hasn't happened. Huh? It can. I can fix it where they can't do it. But as when I do these where y'all just sign in with your name, if you just type in somebody else's name, you can just open theirs up. Yeah. So I'm not sure that didn't happen. So for today, I'm gonna have you put your name on there, and the next time I'm gonna fix it where you can't. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Okay, everybody good? Okay. Let's get to work.